3, 2, 1, go. And we're off with Sparkster. The goal this time is to beat the first 2 stages of the game. So you're going to see this outdoor stage here with the trees and the mountains in the background. Then you're going to find a mini-boss, then they're going to go into a ship and fight the boss of stage 1. And then we got stage 2, which is some pretty intense platforming. All in all, we expect this to take between 3 and 4 minutes.
Yeah, this game is a part of I think a 4-game series. Maybe it's more than that, but mainly 4 principal games of the series. The first being Rocket Knight Adventures for Genesis. There's also Sparkster for Genesis. Then there's this one, which is Sparkster for SNES. And finally, many years later, they released Rocket Knight for the Xbox. This one is interesting because unlike the first 2, unlike Rocket Knight Adventures and Sparkster Genesis, it has this roll attack, which I don't think was in Sparkster Genesis. But
not that I can think of.
Yeah, but the principle, I mean, the main idea behind the entire series is that you're able to use this rocket attack to get through the levels quickly. And every move you do in this game has a different damage value. Basically, your main attack your main attack, just like your sword attack, has a beam that comes out of it, which does 3 damage. The sword component of that main attack is 4 damage. The rocket that you see them doing constantly is 6 damage, and then the roll you see them doing is 5 damage. So you're going to be using your rocket to get around from place to place just because it moves you the fastest. Whereas, but it has this charge up time, because the way you use it is you hold down Y to charge that rocket up. And so between rockets, you're going to be rolling, which is the L and R buttons on your controller. And so the general kind of ideal movement is rocket, roll, roll, rocket, roll, roll, rocket, roll, roll, etc. I mean, that just is done as the stage allows. And then for bosses, you want to be rocketing into them as much as possible with a backup, since that does 6 damage. And then rolls are your second move of choice, which are 5 damage.
So this mini-boss here that you're seeing on Khananaphone's screen, is that really laggy? I'm told.
Yeah, it's just
so,
a risky game in general.
And are there... So it seems like killing him is pretty straightforward, but I mean, are there less or more laggy ways of killing him?
Yeah, there are. Okay. But I don't know, if I were... if I got this game as a mystery game, I probably wouldn't focus on the lag too much. I would focus on just straight, killing him as quickly as possible.
Okay.
But yeah, in a run that's fully practiced, there are definitely lag reduction techniques.
I just saw someone get crushed by the roller and then reset before we got to see it happen.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Right. These 2 giant rollers, there's a couple places where you'll see that, and I bet that at some point we'll see someone go through one. If practice is any indication.
For this stage 1 boss,
everyone.
the stage 1 boss Khananaphone's on right now, they are actually using a pretty good lag reduction move, which is basically, I mean, you can see those lasers that are coming out. The shorter the laser is, the less lag there is, and so ideally the boss just shoots the laser at the ground, and then it's just a really short laser that lasts a very short amount of time, and you just dodge it appropriately. But if you ever mess up and you start going to the left of the screen, the laser will of course then be longer and will cause more lag. So that's a good example of one of the easier lag reduction strats that you can be using. Meanwhile, I mean, you're going to be rocketing as your damage for that boss, so it just kind of works out that way.
We just saw a clutch ending to the stage 2 boss that Omni just finished there. Gets through with half a heart left. So this second stage, you see Khananaphone playing it right now. The second stage seems like a lot of work to route, just because it's so big and there's... obviously with this dash attack, there's going to be multiple ways you can do things, deciding where you're going to dash, what you're going to bounce off of, and when you're going to recharge.
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, there are actually multiple ways through the stage. I mean, there are just a few branching paths basically that soon after converge back to the same point. It's not like one path throughout the entire stage and another path throughout the entire stage. But yeah, so in addition to, it's not only kind of like knowing which of those paths to use, it's also once you decide on a path, like you were saying, Feasel, basically like how can I chain together my rockets and my rolls in such a way that will get me through as quickly as possible. So
yeah,
for
there's
sure.
lots of time just hidden in this, it seems, because anytime you see, you bounce off a wall, that's could potentially be taking you, back distance that you'll need to recover again later. I do like the bouncing off the wall aspect of it, but it definitely makes it pretty frustrating when you're new to it and trying to make your way through these close quarters. You'll end up just like ricocheting off all kinds of stuff, unless you've planned out exactly where you're going to do your rocketing. All right, so for this boss, you said, Lucky, I think you said that you wanted to start on the left side and spawn him a certain way.
It seems like you're, you would assume that you would just wait on the right side for him to come out, but if you do that, basically it takes him forever to actually scroll onto the screen. So what you want to do instead is you wait for him on the far left side of the screen, and then through whatever cue you need, usually it's an audio cue just based on the boss music that's going on, you rocket to the right at the correct time so that he's already spawned at that point and is just waiting for you to start doing damage to him.
I see. So he must spawn a certain distance to the right of wherever your position is.
Yeah,
and so
I think that's the way it works.
You go as far left as you can to get him to spawn far left. That makes sense.
Yep. And then once you do engage combat with him, he has few different things he can do. You can kind of see on Razielim's screen, he's like, one of his hands is spinning, on the other one he's gotten like a rocket launcher, and so depending on what he's using, it can just screw you up a little bit, but it's usually not too much time lost. One of the worst ones, I mean, he can have a laser gun which can shoot you off, or sometimes he'll pick up like a giant mace that will basically kind of protect an entire side of him, and you have to go to the other side to fight him optimally.
Okay, and so that's random which
that's
thing he's going to give you. Okay.
Wow. Khananaphone is 4 frames faster than Omnigamer.
Wow, so close. So close.
How much faster am I?
Really? Well,
Yeah, the
Go on.
split is when the stage clear starts to appear.
Yeah, it's a long wait after while you're waiting for that boss to explode.
yeah.
It's tough because you look at the timer and you're like, oh man, this looks like it's going to be it. And you're like, oh man, it's still going. It's still going.
Got a lot of bosses that don't know when to explode.
So in terms of routing at this game, like I said, I mean, I mentioned how the damage breakdowns work, and so every boss or enemy has different health values. For example, the stage 1 mini boss has 32 health, so it just kind of works out that a rocket, which is 6 damage, and then 2 rolls, which are 5 damage each, altogether do 16 damage. So if you do a roll or a rocket, 2 rolls, a rocket, 2 rolls, then that's 32 damage in total, which works out perfectly. Whereas, like, if he had 1 more health, then you'd probably cut out one of those rolls for another rocket or something like that to fight him optimally. So it's all just kind of routed out to match whatever a particular boss's health is. But yeah, stage 2 is actually my favorite stage in the game because there's no luck for one thing. And it's really just, this is a very luck-based game, especially as you get to the later bosses, which we won't be seeing today. But the later bosses are ridiculously luck-based. But stage 2 is pretty much luck-free, so I really enjoy that part of it. Stage 1 is luck-free as well. There's some minor luck with the boss, but that's it. And that's just like how he shoots his lasers, which basically just kind of adds on some lag frames depending on how often he does that. And I guess actually, well, it also decides how often he's vulnerable, but it's not too big of a difference in the end.
Is there any reasoning to why that first mini boss has bananas sometimes?
I think he always has bananas. I think.
The last couple times he did not.
Oh really? Okay. But yeah, not that I know of though.
What did the bananas do? Is it just points? Is it health?
It's health
Oh,
actually.
it's health.
Oh, that's
It's
cool.
full health actually.
Oh wow, there's
Really? I haven't even seen that.
sparkling bananas.
Yeah, I just noticed it on one of my recent attempts.
Yeah.
Does he like drop it after
holds it
dying?
in
He had it in his hands and carrying it around with him.
Yeah, it like the banana sprite like follows his hand. It's funny.
But you can just grab it out of his hands, though.
Yeah.
I like this ceiling boss. It just dies
Yeah,
before you can
stage-
see what
that's
it's going to
like-
do.
That's the easiest boss in the game. You
Yeah.
just rock it up 4 times and that's it.
Oh boy, I hope this boss doesn't do anything stupid to me, because I only have 2.5 health. Nope. No, too spinny, why? It would have been such a good
Yeah,
one.
like right now he has it on my screen.
Mm-hmm. There they are. No, you don't get your health back when you go into the ship, right? But you do get it back after the boss of stage 1.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, technically finishing a stage with less health is beneficial because there's a bonus,
Sure.
score for extra health.
Right.
So when you get to stage 3, actually, stage 3 is an auto-scroller where you're on a giant robot chicken. And so, for whatever reason, when that stage ends, if you die while fighting the boss of stage 3, you're still able to shoot lasers out of your robot chicken. And so you can actually die and then finish the boss, but
Oh, there it goes.
it's beneficial because then you have no health left, and so there's no health
Right.
bonus that you get.
God dang it.
But that's the only stage you can do that in, just because it has that chicken.
The chicken effect. We saw another roller death.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the bananas. I don't know why they're inconsistent. I'm not sure what would decide it.
Maybe it has to do with how much health you have going into the boss.
Maybe.
If you're at full, it doesn't give it to you.
Shouldn't you always be full at that part?
I don't know.
There's also a very minor thing in stage 1 I'll mention. Basically, as you approach the mini-boss, there's a cutscene that occurs where you basically land, you kind of get into this tired state where you're just falling straight down, and then you enter the cutscene. So what you want to do is you want to minimize how long you're falling. So you want to kind of enter the cutscene as close to the ground as possible, so that you're not, you have no falling time. So it's just one more thing to kind of look out for. There's tons of minor stuff constantly going on that you can use to speed up your run.
So something that you hopefully won't see is your character will actually get tired out if he does too many of these, or dizzy or something like that. If he does too many rocketings in a row without something occurring to reset it. I guess getting hit does it.
Yeah.
And just a certain
Overtime.
amount of time elapsing will do
Yeah.
as well.
And so you
I
can't,
just-
and even if you're,
Just wanted
Even
to
if you're
clarify that Omnigamer's second run is a little slower than his first one.
A little
Okay.
slower?
Yeah.
Need to split when the stage
I just
clear
checked
fades
it
in.
and double checked it and triple checked it.
Well, okay, that's fine. It's probably just because splitting on stage clear is weird.
It is weird. You wait a very long time for that thing to come up.
Chop, chop.
Oh, such a good run. And then died.
We're getting close to the halfway point. Not quite there yet. Close.
I feel like the first boss in the game doesn't do anything apart from trying to make it really hard for you to hit him.
I
So
gotta
any-
say, watching
Go
these
ahead.
movies back at times 9 speed or whatever the hell it is insane.
Yeah.
I believe that those crushers, the up and down crushers in stage 2, are on a global timer to the stage. So while, like, once you're fully practiced, you'll always know where they are. But if you're trying to go fast, but not quite at the point where you're doing it the same every single time, then you can definitely get a nasty surprise sometimes where they're in a bad spot and get you good.
You sure
The
about
roller
that?
crushers will just destroy you no matter what, though.
The thing is, no matter what I'm doing, I always get there and the crosses are in exactly the same spot.
It
Always.
must be
really?
really consistent,
Yeah,
even when you don't seem like it.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't think so.
No. Okay.
Another thing to know about the stage 2
Nice
boss
boss.
is that, like I mentioned before, your sword attack does 4, and the beam that comes out of it does 3. If you attack too rapidly, then your beam will hit the boss instead of the sword. So you want to kind of stretch your attacks out just a little bit so that you're hitting with the sword, and that your beam attack graphically goes through the boss, just to save a little bit of time and maybe like require a couple hits fewer to finish the boss.
Yeah. So Omni just got an excellent run in. It looks like it probably would have been about 4:06 when it finished, I would say.
Yeah, I still have no idea when it splits.
Yeah, that's
I'll
cool.
let you guys
It's
work
when
it out.
it's you first start to see it, but it's kind of hard to tell. It's easier when you're frame advancing through it, I bet. We could probably have done it when the screen flashes white or something like that, too.
On the kill,
This is
kill
so
hit maybe?
unnecessary to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I remember because for my second SGL appearance, this was the game of the week, and we had to do this goal is the short goal, and then stages 4 through 6 is the long goal. And I just remember that the split time and the stage clear appearance thing in stage 6 is really difficult to see. So I remember like that part of my strategy would be to fly to rocket up to the top where sky was visible, so that the stage clear thing was more visible.
Just to see the split location.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a squish.
Yeah,
It didn't
I remember
matter.
timing those rounds, and like the stage clear takes so long to pop
Yeah,
off.
it sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
try to
the
avoid
official
making
timing
it
is
last
in
hit, though.
Omnigamer's time is much faster.
Oh wow, that's it. Is it the 4:05?
Mhm.
That just updated. Yeah, 4:05 and a half. Wow, the bar's been set pretty high here.
I had like a sub 4 in practice. I need to get that again.
Yeah, I'm just like level 2 is just destroying me.
Same.
Now remember, these
Maybe I should
players
prac-
only
maybe I
had
should practice
It
it
was
for 10
horrible.
minutes.
right. You only had an hour to practice this too, so it's crazy that that Razielim, you were able to get a sub 4 time that now you're having trouble repeating. You'll get it. Don't worry about it. Everyone will be sub 4 by the end. I guarantee it.
Sub 3. Come on, guys.
Sub 3, that's what I meant. Sure. Is
I
the
love all
prince-
these weird 8-bit chiptune.
Oh yeah, the
Oh my
chiptune
gosh.
covers of
covers
things.
of real songs.
Yeah.
Boss 1 is showing me the business.
Wow. Guy's supposed to be a pushover. What happened?
Uh,
Stuff.
I missed one and then it fell out of control.
Life happened.
I talked a bit about the cutscene just before the stage 1 mini boss. That cutscene, when you approach it, just stops you completely, stops in your tracks. But the stage 1 full boss cutscene just before him, you'll actually, if you're in the middle of a rocket when you approach him, you'll continue that rocket. And so that cutscene won't stop you, unlike the stage 1 mini boss cutscene. And so you want to rocket like just before that cutscene occurs to get as close to the boss as possible and thus like minimize the time of the cutscene. Whereas if you do it early or not at all, you'll just be walking for a longer period of time in that cutscene.
I saw Raz there just go way out of his way to make sure he didn't go into that one crusher that everyone goes into.
It's that one.
Well,
It is
Oh
the
my
if you
God.
had to pick one that was the worst, that would be the one.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
You're right, they're all terrible.
This is terrible run. What am I doing?
We have just over 9 minutes left on the clock.
Well, why didn't it cancel?
Oh,
The thing is, you know you're going into it the second you release that button and you're trying to cancel it, but then the cancel doesn't work. So you're just sad.
The worst is when you're like going slow to try to avoid the crusher, but there's none there. That's not where it is.
oh, I like his hanging animation. I wish you got to see
What's
that
his
more.
The damage
Nice
in Rocket,
cheerleader.
Didn't see.
the general strat for doing damage in Rocket Knight Adventures is actually really different. I think the idea in Rocket Knight Adventures is when you hit with your sword attack, every frame that your sword is touching the enemy does a certain amount of damage. And so I think optimally, you're just using your sword a lot, and you're not really using your rocket or even your neutral rocket.
Right, just the slashes. It
Yeah.
depends on the boss. Like, that boss has a couple different damage schemes. There's some that don't have... I mean, the bosses in that game will have no invulnerability at all. Some of them will be on a timer, and some of them will be on a timer, except it doesn't matter which move you do. They all do the same damage. There's, like, I think 3 distinct way the bosses behave in that one. But yeah, you're right. The sword slash in some cases will be really powerful, and you'll hear it hitting every frame. But this game, not so much.
Yeah.
Rocket Knight Adventures is a good game. If we get Genesis on here, that game will definitely be making an appearance. Maybe not so much Sparkster Genesis.
Yeah, you can try it. I mean, I don't know how a run would be, but I didn't enjoy it that much. But I mean, there's tons of stuff tons of gems you'll have access to, and maybe Sparkster is more of a C or D tier.
It's not one of the A-list games, so
Yeah.
okay, all right.
But it's I don't think it'd be an awful speedrun. It didn't catch my fancy.
From what I've seen, being a tier game is not a requirement for being on SGL.
Right, no, certainly not.
Oh my god. It's hard to get in there.
Okay, so for the stage 2 boss, if you do 2 dashes before you start just standing on him and slashing, are you always going to be able to kill him before, whatever bogus thing he does with his hand gets you, like if he's doing the spinning baton or something like that?
I think you can
he
kill him
could-
before he does anything.
You can kill him before he does anything?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you don't think you can? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Focus.
He'll
baton.
always have like at least one chance to get you. And yeah, there are tons of side rooms throughout the game, which either contain fruit or points or whatever. Especially in stage 5, which has a maze component to it. There's just tons of little side rooms that have just like points or extra fruit or whatever. But if you're just learning this game, those side rooms with fruit, which are health, become quite welcome. Because it only takes like 2 or 3 seconds to get in there, grab your fruit, and get out.
Except when you accidentally rocket into them, and you're not trying to actually go there.
Oh, it's looking good. Not quite sub 4 though. Come on, die faster.
Spoilers.
Die faster! Die faster, please!
It's going to be some time.
Oh,
I didn't even know that one was there.
you're way over
Oh
4.
my
No,
God.
But
possibly still. Oh,
Maybe
that
sub
was
5.
really close. It's possibly sub 405. I don't know.
I shall take a look.
All right.
I am way lagging behind here.
I have no idea what's going on with this game. I hit some buttons and sometimes it works out.
You gotta go
And
fast.
sometimes gets crushed. Your dreams and body get crushed.
It is indeed sub 405.
Oh, we got there. It is 404.84. We got a less than 1 second lead. Razielim over Omnigamer. With 3.5 minutes left on the clock, we've got,
Ouch.
I don't know, enough time for these guys to see how this run goes before giving it a decision over
Yep,
resetting.
fly into a crusher, start another one,
Yep,
and reset that one for a final one.
right, exactly.
Also to a crusher. No, I got dizzy.
Let's see the
And then I got
future.
I
cancelled.
cannot
What the fuck?
kill 8-man.
Emin is probably the boss I have the hardest time killing.
I'm curious if the people in the audience, if anyone has played this game, and what they thought of it.
This is another one of those games where not many people have played it, but everyone who has says it was really good.
Right, I surely did not play this game when I was a kid. I don't think I even knew anyone who had it, but having played it now as an adult, I very much enjoyed it.
The unfortunate thing about running it really is just that the second half of the game can be so luck-based. Because basically you've got the stage 5 boss, which is like a skeletal worm, which comes out of the ground and can either like do flamethrower type attacks, which keep him above the ground, or he can burrow back under the ground, which makes him invulnerable for another like 6+ seconds. So that can be really crappy. The stage 6 boss should be consistent. He's not as bad. But he can certainly, if he does too many of his more damaging attacks, then he can just wipe you out completely. And that's actually what got me in my SGL thing, was he did that in the 3 times that I made it to him, and he destroyed me. And then stage 7 boss is really the nightmare of the game. He's this boxing boss, where I don't even know like how to describe him, but
It's the Rock'em Sock'em Robot part?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
That's a fantastic part. But
That's
that I
cool,
mean, it's
though.
awful.
and it's right after this auto scroller. It's very like a 4 or 5 minute auto scroller, yeah, basically, I mean, you just have to hope there's no consistency to him that anyone who's run this game has found, and you just have to hope that he does what you want and doesn't go berserk on you, basically. And then the stage 8 boss is pretty nasty as well. Not as bad as stage 7, but he can be pretty nasty, and he's unlike stage 5, it's not, stage 5 is like,
Oh,
you'll
here we
beat him. You'll beat him, but you might just take forever. Stage 8 is either you'll beat him or you'll die, like stage 6. And so he's just one more luck-based boss, basically.
So Razielim just had what is looking like it's going to be a winner right here. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
An amazing time.
And that was getting knocked off the boss at the end too. That could have been a good 2 or 3 seconds faster, couldn't it?
With a game this crazy, that just, you know, the room for optimization is huge.
Mhm.
Give him another hour and that time
Mhm.
would seem, you know, easy.
Oh,
Yeah,
actually,
that's
stage
what
4 seconds on 8-man.
That's another thing I really like about the mystery games. I remember when I had
Time up.
Shadow of the Ninja.
Hold on a second. Wait. I gotta let you guys know that now is your last chance to reset. If you wanna reset, you can do so now. Otherwise, you're stuck with the run you got. Khananaphone
Waiting
has
for the
just finished a
extremely
run.
long
I'll reset.
thing.
Yeah, you can do one. You can reset after this one that's going. All right,
I
good.
think I'll be like half a second.
So now we're past it. So you're
I wanna
stuck with what you got.
Do I get one more? Or...
Yeah, no, you got it because you were we're waiting for that extremely long stage clear to appear.
Yeah. Alright.
All right.
If I timed it right, I'm like half a second behind Omni, which is...
It's something.
Okay,
That's
sorry, Blake.
respectable,
You can go
but-
on with what you were saying.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say, like, what I really like about the mystery game component of these, of SGL, is that it feels like it's just gonna be like you have this 1 hour, and then that 1 hour of experience is kind of like all you get in terms of, learning the game. But you just, as your 30-minute actual like timing period continues after that 1 hour, you learn so much over that 30 minutes that your time just like kind of like Mythical was saying, your time just continues to decrease extremely rapidly over that following 30 minutes, even though it's like during the competition.
Right, I guess that's sort of the point where you've gotten past the getting used to the game, getting a feel of it, and that's when you can actually start to make progress, because now you're working on, optimizing all the little things instead of just sort of struggling to get through it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This would be a much different thing if you had 2 hours to practice and then a half an hour to do attempts. I bet we would see a lot less of a change in people's times during the match itself.
I don't have the attention span for 2 hours of
Right.
practice, though.
Yeah.
It's a little less exciting too, because you would get more of a finished product at that point, whereas it's kind of neat seeing the in-between steps that you get with 1 hour.
There's no way to speed up stage clear, right?
Right.
Oh, please tell me there is. Oh,
At least I'm good at level 1.
can the elevator boss even hurt you?
I think after like 5 minutes of waiting, he starts to have attacks. Crush.
It was such a good run though. I was like 10 seconds ahead.
Aw.
In any other game, these crushes wouldn't do anything, but with the speed you have is rocket high. Just keep flying into them.
Yep, it's one of those purely memorization-based things, and so
No.
you only got the hour. Memorization is one of the
Oh,
trickier things.
Omni was so far in the green. Dreams
Oh.
crushed.
Well, the green doesn't matter. Because
Mine
it
certainly got
started
crushed.
wrong anyways.
Did we all get crushed?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, within the span of like 10 seconds.
Whatever, I was like bouncing off the walls anyway.
Everybody's
Yeah.
crushed.
Three
I did not have a
delightfully
thing to do at all.
flat
Yeah.
dreams.
I'm done.
Put them up on the wall.
Oh nice, I'm 0.3 behind.
Hey, pretty good. Someone might still get it. That elusive sub 3 that we're waiting for. Nope.
Maybe in a week.
Yeah.
Oh, I did it.
When the timer wraps around back
I
to
don't
0
understand,
again, maybe.
Sometimes my boost will
I
just
know,
go in a completely random direction.
Huh.
I think
But,
my time
yeah,
might
this
actually
is-
be sub 3 if you just take out the stage clear screens. It might be like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah, probably. Because things are long. Alright, well that's it for match 2. We had Razielim take this match at the 348. Just head and shoulders above what we expected, but I mean, I guess as he said, he had a sub 4 in practice, so it was only a matter of time before he could get it again. But Omnigamer and Khananaphone extremely close, less than a second apart. Wow, this was a pretty exciting match, I'd say.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to move on to the third and final match of the day. We're back to Goof Troop again.
More goofing.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what we can make happen with this guy.
Will we finish a run?
Hopefully someone will. I
Makes
don't
my
want-
job easier if you don't.
Right. I'm worried Mythical's gonna fall asleep if you guys don't give him runs to time. So if anyone watching would like to be a player on SGL, please contact us. You can email us at sgl@speedgaming.tv, or you can contact me, Feasel, by any of the various means. I'm on Feasel0 on Twitter. I'm Feasel on Twitch. Yeah, either of those work pretty well. Also on SDA.
Can I call a timeout real quick?
Sure, no problem.
I'll be back in just a minute.
All right. Also, if you want to volunteer to help out with the show, you can contact me through those same means. And another thing we could always use is more goals. More games, more goals. So just coming up with... I mean, you can go all out and come up with the save states for us and just, give me the save state and the written description of the goal, or even just being able to point me to this particular game and this particular stage would be a good stage for it. That's usually enough to make a goal out of. It often helps to know what starting equipment, what starting, items, level, health, etc. you want
Yeah,
the
there's
character
some
to have.
tips
That makes a big difference.
On the page, right?
Right.
Oh
yeah.
wait, no. I think that's only if you can see the. Never mind.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, the
list
goal
of
making tips.
goal making.
What kind
yeah,
of
it's a
time
staff
frame?
thing.
What kind of time frame are you looking for goals these days?
So I'm trying to get it, like between 1.5 to 3.5. So 1.5 to 3.5 minutes is what I was target time. Generally trying to get it, under 4 minutes is pretty key. We've had a couple of these goals that were a little bit long that went over 4 minutes, but yeah, about 3 minutes is perfect.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome
This
back.
is not one of them.
No, this is going to be a little on the long side. I think both of the Goof goals are kind of long, but you can't really
It's
break
alright.
these stages up. All the stages are relatively long in this. Okay, so we got everyone back and we're present. We've got 4 splits for this. Is that right? Let me just double check that. Right. Okie doke. Are all the players ready to do this?
Yeah.
Let's go with yes.
How about yes? Yes or no?
I've
Okay.
tired my arm
Yes,
out
yes.
skateboarding here.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to
Trying
count you guys
actually
down.
Play Goof Troop in real life.
You can play Goof Troop in real life?
Yeah, the skateboard for that. Be max.
Alright.
All you need is a 6-foot talking dog.
And a pirate ship full of beagles. Okay, but here we go. I'm going to count you guys in, and then we're going to play this. So,